I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Well, here we are at the end of the Grade 4 Discovering Music Theory workbook. We're at the practice exam paper, starting on page 69 for the cover of the paper. And I do strongly recommend that you try these on your own first of all. Even if you just work in sections, even if you don't do the whole paper, just work in each section, because this is the best opportunity to find where any weak spots are, which you perhaps need a little bit more revision, a little bit more work on. And so I suggest that you just jump in and have a go. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. That's the best way to learn. And I know that I always say this, but it truly is the best way. Just jump in and have a go. Think about it. And so I'm hoping that you've tried this. And so let's turn to the paper starting question, and we're going to work through these answers together. So the first section is regarding rhythm. This is where you need to get your maths brain on, and we need to think about how beats are grouped as well as just the maths of it to reflect the time signature. So we're asked to select the time signature for each of these little bars here. Now don't get sidetracked by looking at the options. First of all, find the answer for yourself and then select the option. You waste too much time just kind of trying to guess what's going on. Just find the answer, work it out, then select the option. So here we know that a semiquaver and a semiquaver's rest will give us a quaver beat. Here's a quaver beat, and we know that 4 demi-semis makes a quaver, or we can just work it out in smaller steps. 2 demi-semis makes a semiquaver, 2 demi-semis makes a semiquaver, and we know that 2 semiquavers makes a quaver. We can see we've got 3 quaver beats. And here the fact that it's all beamed together is the final clue, because we know in 3/8 everything's beamed together. And that's why it's not 6/16, because the beaming would be different. The fact that it's all beamed together is why it's 3/8. 6/16 would be grouped differently. Now then, let's press on. So we need to, first of all, figure out the maths. And here's a good clue to get us started. We know that this is duplet, means 2 in the time of 3. So that's 2 crotchets in the time of 3 crotchets together. And then here we have a crotchet. Here, the dot after this crotchet is going to be worth a quaver, which with this quaver gives us a crotchet beat. And here's another crotchet beat. So we have 3 crotchet beats here, 3 crotchet beats here. There's our dotted minim, which is 6/4, not 3/2, which wouldn't allow for this. 3/2 is simple time, 3 beats, 3 minim beats. 6/4 is 2 dotted minim beats, and so it must be 6/4. Even though the maths works out for 3/2, it must be this one. Now then, let's just see what's going on here. So we've got a crotchet beat rest, and then a quaver plus a quaver gives us a crotchet. Let's start here. So we have a crotchet beat here, and then half of that is a quaver, and half of that again is a semiquaver. And we know that 2 demi-semis equals a semiquaver, and we know that a quaver and 2 semis gives us a crotchet. So there, all of that together gives us a crotchet beat. If you find it hard working it that way, just diagram it out. So here's a crotchet beat which we divided into quavers, semi-quavers, quarter of a beat each, demi-semis, the eighth of a beat each. And so the first dot is worth half of this crotchet, which is the quaver beat. So that's half of the crotchet beat here. And then the second dot is half as much again, that's the semi-quaver, that's a quarter. And then here, these two demi-semis will finish the remaining quarter. So we can see there's a beat. So here we have 2 crochet beats or 1 minim, 2 crochet beats or 1 minim. So 4/4 would be a possibility. However, here we have the algebra of the 2 minim beats per bar, and we can see that's what we've got here. Moving on, now here we have a bar in compound time. This is 6/8, which is duple time, 2 crochet beats per bar, which divides into 2 groups of 3 quavers. Now we need to convert that into simple time. And so what we need to do is, instead of having 2 dotted crochet beats per bar, we need 2 crochet beats per bar. And we do that by removing a dot or adding a triplet sign to the groups of 3. And so we can see that is duple time, and we're counting in crochet beats now, not dotted crochet beats, and so it has to be 2/4. So it's one of these. That one won't do. Now the way we would convert this is we would have to show a triplet for this group of 3 quavers, because quaver, half as much again, plus the semi is a quaver, here's a quaver. So if we triplet that, that's 3 in the time of 2. We've gone from 3 into the time of 2, and we remove the dot. It's got to be this one. This isn't correct because although there's no dot, we're missing the triplet sign here. Let's press on. So we need to complete these sentences here. So in 9/8, how many dotted crochet beats are there in a bar? Well, let's just think about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's our 9 quaver beats. It's compound time, they're grouped in 3s. That's worth a dotted crochet. That's worth a dotted crochet, that's worth a dotted crochet. It's triple time, 3 dotted crochet beats per bar. Now a breve is equal to how many semi-quavers? Now we're going to have quite a lot of maths going on here, and I'm just going to diagram it out, and then we'll just have to convert to numbers because there's a lot of space there. So I'm going to just start with a semi-breve. We know that a breve divides into 2 semi-breves. So let's just do a semi-breve, which we know divides into 2 minims, which divides again into 4 crochets, which divides again into 8 quavers, which divides again into, we know that there are 4 semi-quavers to a crochet, and we know that there are 4 crochets here, so 4 times 4 is 16. There are 16 semi-quavers to a semi-breve, and then we've got to do the same again because there are 2 semi-breves, so that means there are 32 semi-quavers in a breve. Now we need to show which of these bars is grouped correctly. So we need to properly show the unit of the time signature. Here we're in 4/4, common time. So that means 4 crochet beats per bar. We need to clearly see where each crochet beat starts. And remember, we don't beam over the halfway point of the bar. And so here we have, let's just diagram this out. So here's a crochet beat in halves, quarters, eighths. So a quaver is half of that. A A semiquaver is a quarter of a beat. The dot after that is half of that semiquaver, which is a demi-semiquaver, and there's our demi-semiquaver. And so we can see that all of that is one crotchet beat. We know that 2 semis equals a quaver and 2 quavers equals a crotchet beat. And then here is another crotchet beat, half and 2 quarters. Here's a crotchet beat, and that is correct. We can easily see beat 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look why these aren't correct. So we have beat 1, we have the first half of beat 2, but then we have this crotchet spanning into the next beat, and so really that crotchet should be divided, which is why we've got 2 quavers that are tied, because we need to show the groups. And then we have the opposite problem here, where there's beat 1, but then it's carrying on. We've not started a new beam there, so there should be a break to show the start of beat 2. And so it shows how important it is to beam notes correctly, because then we can see easily how to perform this. The timing would be easier to deduce here. It's so easy to get lost. Let's continue over the page. So we go on to page 71 for the last part of this question. And so we need to show which of these rests are correct or incorrect. Now do remember that each new beat requires a new rest. So on the one hand, we need to properly fill the bar with the correct number of beats, but then we also need to show where each new beat starts. So here we have a crotchet, and then half of that would be a quaver, and then half of that would be a semiquaver. So we've got 1 3/4 beats so far, because we have a crotchet, half of that, and then a quarter. We've got a quarter of a beat left. So we need to finish this beat, and actually that's incorrect. That's a demi-semi, whereas we need a semiquaver rest. So that would then complete beat 1, and then we'd have beat 2. So that's just not the right value, it's the wrong value. So that's incorrect. Now here we can see there's beat 1. We've got 3/4 of a beat and a quarter. There's 1 crotchet beat. Now we've got half of beat 2, but that beat isn't finished. We should have a quaver to finish beat 2, and then we have beat 3. That's me pointing with my pencil, not putting a dot. Then we have beat 3. The dot is only really applicable when it's compound time. So we need to finish beat 2 and then show beat 3 clearly. We can't just fill the gap. That's incorrect. Now here we have beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. That's correct. You couldn't just put a min beat rest, because that's not showing each new beat with a new rest. So that's the first section of this practice exam paper completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website, where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.